Okay guys, hello and welcome to today's STPL. We are here in the STPL studio. I'm not going to do anything with VR today just because I've been messing around with VR all day while trying to work. But basically, here we have it. Format is up here, same as Season 3 with different maps. Set 1 to 4, all the lineups are selected in advance. All the games are played at the same time. And set 5 is the ace match, which means every player can compete again. Kind of as expected. If you've seen Season 3 or Season 2, you'll know this format well. And then if we have a look at the maps this season, we've got Blindside, Charmander, Desert Dwellers, Neo Moonglaive, Paradise, Pathfinder, Rosen Bridge, and Tier of Goddess. We have 6 brand new maps made specifically for the STPL Season 4 map contest. I put all 6 of them in, all of the finalists in, because essentially I couldn't pick between them, they were too good, and I didn't want to make anyone pick. And admittedly, a lot of the players are like, that's too many maps in one go, but people get used to them, so it's all good. And to be honest, it's not like people have played any of the maps I would have picked anyway, so it's all good. Prize pool distribution, same as Season 3. First place is 45%, second place is 30%, and third place is 10% as well. Currently, today, we are going to have iRk versus Ash. I've not got my avatar showing on screen today just because I got my full body tracking stuff through, and while working I've been trying to set that up and it's the most confusing thing ever, but it now works, but it means I've got no battery in my headset. So either way, we'll just have this cool, this would be where my avatar would be, this is like the virtual studio stage, so it's all good. But basically, overall, this should be a really fun series. We've got some really good players today and some really good matchups as well. We're going to have a look at the condition of the two teams just to sort of go through them both, given this is the introduction to Season 4. iRk, one of, if not the strongest team outside of Korea. In their lineup today, they've got 3 of the best players outside of Korea at the moment: Dewalt, TruTouch, and OyAji. Oya, SPX, of course, very good as well. And overall, iRk, just a very strong team. They came second in Season 3 overall, beating, I think it was Valhalla team they beat to get to the finals, to face off against Seoul. If I remember correctly, it's been a while. That was like 6 months ago or something, so not 100% sure on that, don't quote me, but there we go. iRk just a really strong team. Head to head as well, iRk have actually won the 5 times they've met against Ash, but this is a new Ash. Ash are evolving, they've got some more players, a lot of good players joined them at the end of Season 3. In this lineup today, we've got Squall and KwarK, 2 of the, I would say two of the more old school players. And not only that, he's not playing today because RCG's this weekend, but he is going, or they're going to be putting Rhett in Season 2.
Quick sus vote him out.
Thanks, James, for the sub, man. But yeah, they're going to put Rhett in. Liquid Rhett, the one, the only, is on Ash's roster. And Squall was really good back in the day. KwarK was really good back in the day. One of the only, I mean, realistically, one of the only well-known UK players now living in the US. Dreamer, a very strong Russian Protoss. Obviously not as strong as Dewalt, but not many people are. But he's still up there in terms of the Russian Protosses. And then you have the Ghost King, Radley himself. I mean, Radley, it may show that he's lost a lot more games than he's won. But regardless if he wins or loses, he always gives us a show. He is definitely the emperor of STPL, like, given the fact that Boxer would always put on a show for people even if he lost. So it's all well and good. It's all well and good. But Ash are definitely going to have trouble here, I think. But hopefully, given it is week 1, even if they do have trouble today, they'll be able to pull back later on in the season. There's 9 weeks overall, so we've got a lot of games coming. Yeah, Ash Rhett will be in from next week. because he's finished his RCG practicing, which he was doing last weekend, and he's in the lineup for week 2, so he'll be playing on Sunday, which is really, really exciting. I can't believe Rhett's going to be playing. That's kind of cool. But the games we're going to have, starting us off, we've got the Miracle Toss himself against the Ghost King on Rosen Bridge. That should be a match to remember, hopefully. If there's 2 players, like 2 of the more well-known players in the STPL in terms of like the amount of games they've played and how well they do, like Dewalt, the Miracle Toss beating Shine in a like 30-minute macro game on La Mancha, which is really insane. And no matter what position he's in, Dewalt always seems to come back and come back in. So, and that says S1, not 51. No, not 51. It's an S. You can tell it's an S. The 5 is different. Look at the 5 at the bottom. But S1. Then we've got trutacz against Squall as ZvZ on Desert Dwellers. Trutacz seems to be cursed to forever play ZvZ. Every single week he gets them. Then we're going to have KwarK versus SPX on Pathfinder. That should be a lot of fun. That's one of the more well-known maps in terms of it actually existing before this season of STPL. And then we've got OyAji versus Dreamer. And that's really, really sick as well. So we've got a PvP, because of course we do. We've got a ZvZ, and we've got 2 TvPs. I'd say that's a good set of diverse matchups. Unfortunately, we don't have a PvZ or a TvT, but we can't get everything we want, you know? It's all good though. But let's have a look at our 2 players. I sort of spoke about them a little bit before, but here he is. It's iRk's Dewalt, the Miracle Toss himself. Winning, if I remember correctly, more games than any other player in the STPL overall, over the most number of games played as well, I think. He's rank 4 in the STPL ELO rankings. He's got a 76% win rate overall, which is ridiculous, and a 76% win rate against Terran as well, which is equally insane. He has played against some incredibly good players. The only games he lost recently, one was to Zealot in the finals on Hitchhiker, which was an incredibly close game, and then 1-0 as well in the semis on Andromeda. But even though he lost to 0 in that series, he came back, played against Koga in the ace match, and he did win and took his team to the grand finals. So yeah, like 0 is a really, really good Zerg player. Obviously Mr. Bombastic, runner of the Bombastic Star League. So I mean, that was a really, really good game versus 0 as well. The fact 0 won it was amazing. It's really, really cool that he did that. And Dewalt actually lost to Chaylin as well long ago, back in June. And that was a good game as well. Like, even if Dewalt loses, the game is good. And much like that, his opponent over here for Ash is going to be Radley. And I've noticed the people on Ash are going to have a go at me because the team code hasn't changed. It should all be lowercase, and I've not updated it yet. I completely forgot to do that, so it's all good. Yeah, Dewalt did lose his last 3 PvZs, but this is a PvT, so it doesn't really matter. Radley, I mean, he goes up against some of the best players in their respective teams, and he always tries something weird, something different. And he very nearly comes close. He almost beat Bishop, he almost beat Terra. They were down to the wire, those 2 games, and it, like, you can never count the Ghost King out. Will he be able to get to Ghosts on this map? Will he go for Ghosts on this map? I'm not too sure, but if you've not seen this map before, it is a brand new map for the STPL Season 4, and it is Rosen Bridge. Rosen Bridge is both an island map and a land map, depending on where you spawn. There's a lot of thoughts about whether this can be balanced, but that's what we hope to find out, because if it can be, we can iterate on the idea and go for something else as well. It's a really, really fun map to play on, and the games we've seen on here so far have been really good. The only thing I know about is ZvZ might be a little bit problematic, but the other matchups, especially Terran and Protoss, given the fact everyone has, or the islands has easy access to 3 gases on the island, and if one person spawns on the mainland, which is possible as well, they only have access to 2 easy gases. So that's kind of the trade-off. It's very, very difficult to completely defend the whole map. So dropships, shuttles, carriers, incredibly strong on this map if you can go around the edge. And it's just a really, really cool map to watch. So let's see how this is going to play out as we get into game number 1. Okay, starting us up here in the top left-hand corner, it's the Miracle Toss fighting for iRk. It's Dewalt in the yellow. And spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner in the pink, fighting for Ash, it's the Ghost King. It's Radley. Now, I saw people saying that Dewalt had no stars, and the reason is because I didn't realize he's actually hit above the threshold for the amount of crowns and stars that I was giving out. So I'm going to have to basically add more. I didn't realize someone would go that high. I think I wasn't expecting the STPL to last that long when I made all the stars images and stuff. So Dewalt is actually on 2 crowns now. 2 crowns. 2 crowns and almost 1 star. But as we can see from the spawns, Radley has spawned on the island, and Dewalt has spawned on the mainland. It's going to be difficult for Radley, especially given the fact he's up against Dewalt anyway. But if anyone can play a weird map like this, it's going to be him. So it's all really, really good. Now, we did see in PvP that the player on the mainland or the player on the island can win with just Reavers. I think it was... Who was it that we were watching? I think it was... You know what? I need to check this stuff before I actually start streaming. I think it was Sandra versus Last, if I remember. No, actually. Yeah, it was. It was Sandra versus Last. And Last just went for like 4 Robo Reaver. And he just kept dropping Reavers over and over again. Yeah, it was a Korean guy from Rico, but there was 2 PvPs in that one. It was Last, I'm fairly certain. Now, Dewalt, the other thing is, and the other, I guess it is a downside, Radley doesn't have to scout, because to him it doesn't matter where his opponent is. But Dewalt has to check the other main, and that's why it's very risky to go for like a 12 next when you're on the mainland, because you can't be sure that your opponent isn't there. Now, that does offset the benefit the mainland has a little bit later on. Oh, is it Red Beast going for Robo Reaver? I thought it was in the Wiko game. Oh, that was it. It was Korean, well, Red Best. Yeah, not Beast versus Venom. Yeah, the one matchup that I think these spawns could affect in a negative way is 100% ZvZ. Because if you spawn on the mainland, you have to build a set of safety lings unless you scout. That's the only problem that I can see, and me and Gosami, the map creator, have been talking a little bit to see if we can figure out if there is any changes we can make to make it work, but we're going to see how it goes for now. If it does pose a problem, if there is clearly an issue, then we can fix the map, it's all good. But one thing is, about the island as well, you'll notice there are these hives dotted around the map. There's one at the top, one at the bottom, one up here, and one just up here as well. And what this does is it means the person on the island cannot immediately get their 3rd gas, but you do have to kill the hive, and then you can. Now, the Waltbacker Homer's expansion is up. He's going into Robo behind this, most likely going to be for Reaver. Could also go for an Observer first as well. And Kingdom's saying if you spawn on the mainland, you shouldn't build lings, The other guy could be on an island, but I guess that is true. And the thing is, if the other player builds Lings and he 4-pulls, then he could just lose the game. There's only 1/3 chance that he's going to be able to hit you, but I get it. I get it. I mean, it's a risk. It's definitely a risk. It's the first time a map like this has ever been, like, tried in, I think it's the first time a semi-island, semi-land map has ever been done in Brood War, so it'll be interesting to see how it works out. I mean, some may say there is a reason why it's never been done. We've got double Starport Wraith coming in for Radley. This is very much a style of his that he likes to do. I think he actually did this against Dewalt before. Was it Yeti he played against that did this? All the way back in Season 2 on Monty Hall SE, there was a really crazy game Radley had against carriers where he went mass Wraith. I cannot remember if it was Dewalt he played against or if it was Yeti. Yeah, and Ryan makes a good point as well. Oh man, here we go. Forgot to D&D myself, there we go. Yeah, there's a ZvZ on this map on Friday. I must admit, when this map was put in, oh, nice pick off on the Observer. Yeah, when this map was first put in, I didn't think people would put Zerg on this map. And yeah, there was a ZvT on this map, wasn't there? Wait, was there? Was there a ZvT? I don't even remember that game. I thought it was 2 PvPs on day 1. Ah, it's tomorrow there's a, or it's on Friday there's a TvZ. A TvZ and a ZvZ. Okay, so the Wraiths of Radley aren't really going to be doing too much, but they are going to be able to stop the shuttles from Dewalt, killing him with Reavers right away. We've got +1 air attack coming in for Dewalt, so Dewalt is most likely going to go into some Corsairs early on to deal with the Wraiths. We've got shuttle speed, I believe, is already done, at least it should be. But Radley just going to be kind of scouting around with these Wraiths for now. Third base on the way for Dewalt, but it is at the mineral only. As you can see here, no gas here to be taken. And he'll have to kill this hive if he wants to expand again. But Radley has killed his hive already. He is going for a quick third gas, and that is really going to help him with the fact he's going for mass Wraiths early on. And mass Wraiths are also good against carriers, so that's one of the bonuses. Looks like he is going to swap into dropship play though. Going to go for a bunch of units. Here comes a Dragoon. There is going to be a Reaver coming in. The shuttle very low on health. If he can get this Reaver before it can unload, even so, the Reaver is going to do nothing here. That did not work out for Dewalt whatsoever. And that's a very big pickoff by Radley. Dewalt was really hoping that would do some damage, but double Robo coming in for Dewalt now. He's going to be going for a lot of shuttles, possibly a lot of Reavers as well. He's going to need a good number of observers if Radley does a good job of scouting them out with his Wraiths. He's scouting at the other main as well to make sure Dewalt isn't expanding. And now we finally have Dewalt going for that hive. +1 air weapons almost done. No fleet beacon on the way just yet, but he'll need his third gas for that, most likely. Now, does Radley have any upgrades coming in? Yes, he does. +1 attack coming in. Only 1 armory so far. He really should get that second armory added on, given the fact he does have this third gas coming up. He's got a decent number of turrets as well to defend this island base. And the Wraiths are still going around. You can see a load of probes just being left around the map here to try and keep an eye on what's going on. But this creep takes a bit to recede as well. Now, given the fact he has gone for +1 attack and Corsairs might explain why Radley is not going for more Wraiths. It doesn't really make too much sense. If he can get some drops off, that would be very good. Well, we've got a Fleet Beacon coming in here. Is he going to go for D-Web, or is he going to go straight for carriers? I kind of hope we'll see some D-Web here, because D-Web can be really good against drops. Oh, here come the Corsairs. Corsairs absolutely destroy Wraiths. So that's all the Wraiths gone, and that means the double shuttle is going to be able to start to do some major damage. The dropships heading back home. Dropships, of course, have more armor against Corsairs, but they do still die relatively quickly. So this double shuttle Reaver is going to be deadly if it's not dealt with correctly. Now, he's got a, I think he's got double Reavers in, yeah, there we go, there's the double Reavers. Now Radley is trying to find a place to drop. Thinking about it logically, Dewalt doesn't have that many gateway units. He's only got 3 gates now, he's going up to a 4th one. And there's D-Web. Wait, is this D-Web? I don't actually know what that upgrade is. I don't think I've seen that upgrade before. Just showing how bad I am at casting. It's all good though. I just don't know the Protoss icons. I don't see them enough. That almost... It's not scout speed. But it looks like some kind of an attack. Oh, it is D-Web. Okay. I thought D-Web would look more cloud-like, but I guess not. Here we go. Dewalt going to move out into another map. One of the areas that he could expand to as well is this double base in the middle. There's absolutely no way to get to this by ground. I think you may... No, I don't even think you can reach it with Storm. So if Radley could get there, that would be pretty good for him. But it's going to be hard for Radley to get around. Now it looks like Radley going to use his Science Facility to scout. So he's not going to be building Ghosts this game. No covert ops is going to be able to be built here. Radley's leftover Wraiths being used to scout out here, but will lose the Wraith before he can kill the Corsair, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. And Dewalt is going to get ready to take a 5th base down here as well. Now we've got Valkyries here from Radley. Valkyries can be incredibly good against Corsairs because they stack up so much. And they don't take as much damage from Corsairs as Wraiths do. We've got a lot of gateways coming in now as well. So it's really going to be up to Radley now to make something happen. Because if he doesn't make something happen soon, Dewalt is just going to explode and become unkillable. Now +1 attack should be done. +2 attack is on the way, almost finished. I believe he's still only on... Oh, the Valkyries came out here to try and take down the Corsairs, but find the Dragoons as well. So Radley is going to have to move that away if he wants to keep himself busy. But here we go, 4 dropships going to be coming on down here. Oh, they just skirted in vision of the Observer and the shuttle. The Valkyrie, I think he thought had died. But this army is not going to do anything. It's going to get immediately surrounded by both sides. This is not enough tanks, not enough Goliaths here, and the 4 Reavers dropping out the shuttles going to be doing a ton of damage, and D-Web on top of the tanks as well, making it very difficult for Radley to be able to do anything there. That was not the right place to drop whatsoever. But Radley does have a bank, so does Dewalt. I think both of them are kind of a little bit unsure of where they're going from here. I mean, Dewalt is thinking, I do not need to drop Radley and possibly lose my army. So he is just going to sit there, wait for Radley to come back to him. But Radley needs to look to take a location like this and push through the middle from there. But that drop was in the middle of Dewalt's army. That was definitely destined to fail, unfortunately. And this is what Radley needs to be worried about. Triple Stargate, or double Stargate and Templar Archives coming in. We could very well see some carriers soon. And when carriers start coming in, there's going to be 4 Stargate carriers. Radley is going to be in a lot of trouble. Now here we go, looks like Radley is going to try and move his command center down here to the bottom middle. There's no units coming with this though, the Corsairs escorting the Reaver shuttles over here. And this is a problem. This is going to be 4... Oh my god, 4 Reavers dropping out into the main base is going to be... or into the natural here. All of Radley's units are going to be dying to the Reaver. The Reaver's doing so much damage in the middle of the line as well. Radley still has a ton of units and a ton of SCVs, but he's still on a ticking clock here. He needs to get off of his island. There are plenty of places Radley can drop here, but the trouble he's got is he just wasted his first big drop. He dropped it in the middle of 2 armies. And then that second one he had to bring back home to defend. It looks like Dragoons coming down here to try and deal with the command center. If the Dragoons come down here, there's going to be a lot of space for him to go above here. A lot of the units are kind of away from the center here. If he can drop in the middle of the map as well, he can take that base. A lot of Valkyries though flying around trying to find some shuttles, and this is a nice pick off. Getting these 3 shuttles is very, very nice. Gets them all with the last bit of units. He's going to come in here. He'll scout with the Valkyries as well. And if he scouts here, he'll see that carriers are being produced. And this is when he knows he's got to do some damage. He drops onto the other island. Did he bring an SCV here though? I don't think he did. And without the SCV, he's not going to be able to expand over here. But Radley does have a presence now on the other island. He did manage to kill a lot of the shuttles that would have caused him a lot of trouble. But the first carriers are now out on the map here. And Radley, has he left it a little bit too little too late? He's got his 4 bases on his island. He's not going to wine out for a while. But he still needs to find a way onto the mainland. And so far, he's just not been able to. He's going to try and drop down here in the bottom right, but there's so many cannons already. The dropship at the front already damaged, so he could actually lose a lot of health here. And there's cannons everywhere by Dewalt. Dewalt knows exactly what he needs to do. But here we go. Looks like Radley going to try and drop in a position to stop both of these bases. The shuttles, the zealots, and the reavers coming in, and this drop should be cleaned up once again. But yeah, Radley just seems to be struggling a little bit against Dewalt here. I think that no matter what the map is, Radley may struggle a little bit against Dewalt, but I think the map is definitely throwing him off a little bit. It kind of doesn't feel like this is Radley playing this game. Like, Radley does do drop styles, but I would have thought we would have seen him be a little bit more technical than he has been. He kind of sat back and he waited, and that's fine. But I feel like he waited too long. Now he's going to drop on the low ground. He's going to try and take out one of these bases. The carriers should be in a position soon where they'll have their interceptors. Like, I'm really really confused at where Radley's army actually is. Now he's killing this base, but this base doesn't matter. There's no minerals here. Like, Dewalt doesn't care about this. Now he needs to pick up his units and fly away. He unsieged and he's going to siege again, but okay, the first carrier is out. It is going to go down to the Goliaths. This is a very nice pickoff. But Radley's losing all of his units. That was a very nice tank shell though, killing all of those probes. But Radley just doesn't seem to have the right units to deal with the army that Dewalt has. He's still doing well though. He's still got a lot of gas on his island. He's still got a lot of minerals. And if he can keep the if he can keep the carrier count low, he can do something with this. Now Dewalt has actually built a load of cannons in the middle of the map here to try and stop the circulation of dropships and Radley's units. But Radley needs to get a lot more space. Like, he needs to find some way onto the mainland, and so far the units he's been dropping haven't been able to do that for him. There's another 4 carriers coming in, a 5th Stargate coming in as well. Dewalt is starting to dry up on the mainland. He's dried up in his main. He's dried up in his natural. His mineral only is about to dry up as well. It's about halfway done, and here we go. This is what we need. We need a big drop in the other main. He needs to bring an SCV over here. He needs to bring multiple SCVs over here and start to build turrets, to build buildings, to get away onto the mainland. The carrier's going for the command center. Another dropship full of units going to come down here. A lot of units actually dropping out. Radley has a chance here to secure this part of the map. The Dragoons heading in single file. Definitely not what they want to do, but he has to fight the carriers with the Goliaths. He cannot be fighting the goons. If he loses these Goliaths, he is going to be in big trouble, as the Goliaths are all their arc, keeping him alive. But here we go. The carriers getting targeted down by the Wraiths, by the Goliaths. The tank on the mainland has gone down, but the carriers are all going to fall. And now the carriers are gone. It gives him the ability to drop in this island again. And Dewalt's supply is actually quite low, given the point in the game Radley trying to clear out this base. Valkyrie and a dropship still left behind. There's a tank in here that he should probably go back and drop. But an observer coming up. Can Radley kill the observer before the Wraiths die? He needs to be looking at this. He needs to scan. He needs to kill it. But there we go. All of the cloak energy, or a lot of the cloak energy, coming off here. A dropship coming over to this top left base. I don't think he realized there was units in here, so he's going to lose that. But here is another drop coming down to the bottom right-hand corner. Storm on the Wraiths. A very important move for Dewalt here. But with another big drop, if he... Where's all his units? Did he just not have any units to drop down here? Where are they all? And because he didn't drop enough units, I think that could be it. Radley fought valiantly. The dropships, I mean, I don't get where his units are. He just didn't have any units in that drop. He should have done. And he is starting to add on vultures, which is a very good move. But he still has to worry about the carriers. He's done an amazing job killing them so far. He is still going for wraiths as well, which is good as well. But he needs to kill these bases. Like, if he can kill these bases, Dewalt is going to be mined out soon in the others. Radley mined out his main and his natural. Going to start to fly some... he's going to start to fly command centers towards the middle of the map. And there's a lot of wraiths here, so these should realistically deal with any number of carriers. But with Corsairs coming out here to defend this as well, it's going to be rough. Here we go, the carriers going in. The carriers trying to get these... I mean, he's dropping mostly Goliaths and, well, mostly vultures and tanks. It just feels like Radley doesn't have the right units. That's the only problem. The Corsair, or the Wraiths trying to come in to deal with the carriers, but unfortunately, with too many Corsairs, there's nothing Radley can do. GG! Radley taps out, and Dewalt takes game number 1. Okay, so that's going to be end of game number 1. I'm going to go for a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be heading into game number 2, which is a ZvZ between Trutacz and Squall.
Welcome to Victory Lane. You made it. Congratulations, you place first.
Okay guys, welcome back. We are here for game number 2 between iRk and Ash. We're going to be heading into trutacz versus Squall. Trutacz, of course, one of the best Zergs outside of South Korea, up there with Eon Zerg, and I think everyone can probably agree, at least before it was Ziki, but I'm not sure how well he's doing recently. But trutacz, a very, very strong Zerg player, has got a really good ZvZ win rate. The last ZvZ he played, well, the last 3 ZvZs he played, he only lost to Soma and Shine, which is pretty, like, the game against Shine was okay, and the game against Soma was okay as well. He didn't even get destroyed or anything. It was just a ZvZ. ZvZ can be a bit of a coin flip normally, but he's still very, very good at it. 57% win rate overall means he is a very, very strong player. Let's have a look at his opponent. It's going to be Squall. Now, Squall, one of the more old school names in the tournament. I think he's the only Spanish player who's registered to play in the tournament at the moment. And I've just noticed how weird the Spain flag looks. So I'll have to edit that slightly because the red is not nearly wide enough. And, I mean, Squall, just a really, really good player. It's really, really fun to see him play. The last game he played against, or the last game he played was back in January, so it's been a while since he's played in the STPL, but he's back again. He's looking to get some wins on the board for Ash, and he's looking to tie up the series here 1-1. The map they're going to be going on to is Desert Dwellers. Desert Dwellers is a brand new map for the STPL, the first map to basically have an STPL logo on it. And it's just a really, really fun map. ZvZ, it should be quite interesting. I'm not really sure how this is going to play on ZvZ, but to be honest, given it is ZvZ, it's quite close by air, it's probably going to be a relatively quick game. I mean, it's ZvZ, they're all fast. But let's get into game number 2. It's a ZvZ, and it's Squall versus trutacz. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the, or in the top left-hand corner, sorry, we have the red Zerg player fighting for iRk. It's trutacz. And his opponent spawning up here in the top right-hand corner in the grey, fighting for Ash. It's Squall. Okay, so ZvZ, very, very quick games usually. It's really cool to be on this map as well. But it's all good. So both players scouting ever so slightly weirdly. It looks like Squall is going to head a little bit out into the map before diverting back up. It is relatively short distances by air, so you can kind of get away with this and not really risk being scouted first. They both know where each other spawn, given it's a two-player map, so no 9 pulls either. Both of them going up to 12 drones. Looks like we are going to have a 11 hatch by Squall, whereas trutacz is going to go for an 11 hatch as well. Now I do wonder when both players are going to be getting their spawning pools here. Looks like Squall is going to not add any more drones and actually go for a 10 pull 9 gas, leaving him with 8 drones, whereas trutacz is going to add 1 drone and then go for a 11 pull 10 gas. So trutacz going to have a little bit of an economy lead early on, but it is quite surprising to see both of them going for such fast expansions given how close they are by ground. Now the main thing moving forward will of course be the Spire timing. trutacz will be able to get a faster scout off here, given the fact he has managed to go straight there with his Overlord. The other bonus Squall has is where his gas was slightly quicker. He does have a 40 gas advantage at the moment. He has caught up in the drone count as well, given the fact his hatchery finished ever so slightly sooner. But trutacz should be able to pull ahead in that fairly soon as well. But it's very strange not to see either of them going for a huge number of lings early on. We have 6 coming out from trutacz. Looks like we had 4 from Squall. And he is going to go back into drones. So trutacz will have the advantage. trutacz actually going up to 8 lings here. This could be a little bit problematic for Squall, who doesn't have that many lings at the moment. His Overlord should have seen these coming, but is this a little bit too little too late? He's got the position on the top of the ramp here, but is that going to matter when your opponent has such overwhelming ling numbers? There's going to be 6 versus 8. Looks like 8 have spawned, but I mean, Squall lost a lot of health on his lings retreating before, but looks like they are going to trade perfectly evenly. Squall's going to come out a little bit ahead in that trade, but trutacz did add on a few more lings as well. Looks like both of them did go for lair first into ling speed afterwards, so the Spire's coming up for both players. As a matter of fact, the Spire for Squall a lot sooner for him because he did get that earlier gas. And now Squall is going to be the one with the aggression here. He's moving forward across the map with a load of lings right now, spawning some more as well. trutacz's Overlord left, so I don't think it saw those lings spawn either. There is one in the natural that kind of came back in, so he should know that lings are on the way, and he is building a lot of lings himself to defend against this. But Squall can actually bypass this if he goes through the top of the map. I don't know whether or not he's going to do that. Let's have a look. See if he can actually get up this ramp. It is very easy to defend these ramps as the defending player. So it does make me question Squall's decision making to go for a lot of lings here. But I guess by putting on aggression, you confirm that your opponent can't really push you. And you're going for faster Mutalisks as well. So that should be fine. Interestingly enough, I don't think Squall ever checked into the main. He flew straight back out again. So he doesn't know the Spire timing. Let's just double check. He did. Okay, so he did check, but he flew away probably when he saw the lair. Yeah, Squall moved up to 17 drones throughout all of this, so his economy is doing really well. But given the 3 drones that he didn't build, trutacz has now got a ton of lings, and this engagement is going very well for trutacz. This is very, very dangerous. It looks like we do have the Mutalist popping though. The perfect time to defend this hatchery, but he needs to kill these lings before they kill the hatchery. If he loses the hatch, this is going to be everything here. Is he going to save it? It's so close, and yes he does. Saves it with 163 health remaining, but that is very close to death beforehand. Let's see, can these Mutalisks do any counter damage? There isn't as many Mutalisks coming in for trutacz. He's going for some Scourge. It is going to be, I think that's 4 Mutalisks against 6, soon to be 8. Yeah, 8 Mutalisks now, flying around trying to find any hidden lings, just making sure that he's not going to die to some kind of counter. But this is when he needs to push. He's got the advantage. He has the drone advantage as well. And trutacz is behind. That is very surprising to see trutacz behind in a ZvZ, but I can't honestly say if I know how much trutacz has been playing recently. Obviously Scourge can be the great equalizer in ZvZ if you can get them to connect, but it is quite difficult to do so. But Squall going to continue moving around with this Mutalist to either player Are they going for any upgrades? Looks like not at the moment. Trutacz is really starting to struggle here. He's supply blocked, he lost an Overlord, and he's down in workers, but here come the Scourge. How is the Muteless micro from our silver player? Looks like the Scourge, for some reason, running away from the Muteless. That was definitely not what they wanted to do. And that's going to allow Squall to clean this up. I think Squall's just going to win. I think this is it. It's 8v6. And things are going from bad to worse for trutacz here. More reinforcements coming in behind this. Scourge coming in as well. He is sat on top of the eggs, which can be a very dangerous situation to be in. If these Scourge can connect, it could be the move that trutacz needs. And it's actually 2 Muteless against 1 now after all those Scourge connected. So it's not as bad as it looked for trutacz before. But with only Scourge coming out, he gets more connections. But so does Squall. And with a 6 drone advantage, Ling's killing the drones of the natural. The Muteless flying into the main as well. It looks like we've got an upset here with Squall taking down trutacz in game number 2. I mean, it's still not over yet. Where the hell did that Scourge come from? But it's definitely not looking good. 34 supply against 12. That is not a position you can really recover from in ZvZ normally. Ling's still in the mineral line. Gets another drone with the last hit. And this is such a well-played game by Squall. Looks like one of the final Muteless is going to go down from trutacz. He's actually going to fly away. GG! trutacz taps out. And Squall wins game number 2. Okay, so that was a relatively quick ZvZ. We did see a big upset there with Squall taking down trutacz in his first game in the STPL in almost 10 months. Very, very well played by Squall, and a very big win for Spain as well. They don't really win too much in Brood War anymore, but going, like, even winning a set against iRk for Ash is very, very important, because this is the 6th time Ash and iRk have met. Ash as a team has changed a lot since Season 1. iRk have stayed relatively consistent. But Ash have never beaten iRk before. I would love to see if they've ever actually won a set before. I think they have done. But that is still incredibly, incredibly good. The cool thing is we should be heading in to our next game. I'm going to take a quick break again. But when we get back, we will head in to the next game.
Select your trigger hard. Emergency! Emergency! The target is approaching. Are you ready?
Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 3 between iRk and Ash. The series is tied up 1-1 at the moment, and here we have standing for iRk, it's the Russian Terran SPX. He's not had the greatest of successes in the STPL, but a 41% win rate is still impressive. He's not played too many versus Protoss games, so it's kind of hard to say how he's going to do. His opponent, a relatively new name for the STPL, it's KwarK. KwarK only playing 2 games so far, both of them back in June, July last year. But still a very, very good player. One of the old school English players. There's not too many people from England who actually play Brood War, so it's kind of cool. So let's have a look at the map we're going into. It is going to be Pathfinder. We had an amazing TvP between Koga and LML here the other day. It was a really, really fun game. Lots of back and forth action, with Koga winning in the end. I need to actually... Digda versus Whip was really good. That was the better of the two. I forgot to add the times to the games, but... yeah, KwarK is from England. He lives in America now, though. Yeah, his flag's from the UK, because that's the UK flag. He's actually from England, I think. If I remember rightly. It was him and Midian were like the 2 English players. And obviously we've got Cadenzi, who's Scottish now. Okay, let's have a look. Well, let's get into the game. Pathfinder, a very, very good map for TvP. And let's get started with game number 3. Whoa, it would help if I actually loaded up the other replay. Hold on. Let's go back here. Let's go back here until we sort this out. I completely forgot to do the one thing I had to do. There's not an STPL fantasy, they're just trolling. They're my real life friends. They've probably got nothing better to do. Okay, let's quickly load up this replay. iRk versus Ash. If anyone ever wants to run an STPL fantasy, by the way, please feel free. I definitely cannot do any of that because it is way too much work for me. I've got enough stuff I've got to deal with anyway. And it looks like these two didn't play on top versus bottom, so they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be in big trouble. But let's get into the game. It's game number 3. It's SPX versus KwarK. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the English Protoss player fighting for Ash. It's KwarK. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the peach, fighting for iRk. It's SPX. SPX throwing some shade. He asked if KwarK had been playing the map, like practicing it. KwarK said he played a few games versus computer before. SPX saying Protoss don't need practice. A little bit of shade throwing there from SPX, not really respecting the Protoss race. KwarK, if you don't know, is one of the people who openly made Artosis incredibly angry. I think Artosis hates KwarK because KwarK kept meeting him on a ladder and like winning. Artosis was definitely not happy with that, and KwarK was talking about it a lot on Reddit, which made Artosis even angrier because it made it look like KwarK was trolling, and to be honest, KwarK probably was, but Artosis especially hates KwarK. So that's your little bit of trivia for today about KwarK. Yeah, and there's actually Eduardo brought it up, but there's actually a there's a video where it's this. I don't know. I can't remember the actual video if it's multiple or if there's just one, but it's just like Artos is ranting about KwarK like an insane amount. Now KwarK did go for a 12 next, I think this was here, so that is a very, very fast expansion. SPX is going to scout him first though.
Reporting for duty.
Thank you Oya for the raid. Welcome guys, you're watching today's STPL. You're almost in time for Oya's game, which is going to be coming up after this one. Series is currently tied up 1-1 with Radley losing to Dewalt and trutacz losing to Squall. And this is the third game, KwarK vs SPX TvP on Pathfinder. So we have 2 gateways coming up after the expansion for KwarK. SPX expanding. Oh, SPX is going for a Marine SCV all in. He's going to try and counter the 12 next, but the trouble is there's already a Zealot out. There's already going to be another Zealot by the time he gets down here. And I don't think he has enough Marines to make this work. He's going to have 2-3 Marines when he gets here. The SCVs are not in a position to do this. He needs to keep this Marine alive. If he can micro perfectly against this, he can definitely punish this, but it's going to be tough. He's going to be up against 2 gateways here. And this is a lot of SPX's economy. He has to make this work. The bunker doesn't finish. There is a lot of SCVs down here though, so he should be able to do it. The Zealots getting on top of the SCVs, killing a lot of them. The bunker finishes. There's 4 Marine, or 3 Marines even, but one of them goes down. Looks like he is going to be able to get into the bunker, but at what cost? There's going to be 2 Zealots running towards his base. He has, oh, he's got his, okay, so he has his Vulture. That is going to allow him to help defend against this. KwarK making a very, very bad mistake there, running the Dragoon into the bunker. He's trying to keep this Marine alive. He needs as much damage in this bunker as he possibly can. But KwarK, once he gets range, can sit on top of the hill and kill the bunker. But I think this Nexus could go down. This is enough Marines in this bunker and enough SCVs to repair that he should be able to get this. Range is not going to be finished in time. This is a dead Nexus. There we go. And with the Nexus dead, SPX has essentially done what he needed to do. The SCV's blocking the Dragoons as well. If the Dragoons get by, this could be problematic, but the Vultures getting into the main. 1 probe going down, 2 probes going down. He can one-shot both. 3, 4. KwarK is taking so much damage. 5, 6 probes have gone down now. 7, and the pain just doesn't stop. 9 probes have fallen, and Nexus has fallen. That is so many minerals that have been lost, and SPX keeps his Vultures alive as well. It looks like SPX may have won the game. I know a lot of people are saying that KwarK had a very good chance against SPX, but SPX has just kind of pulled his way through here, and he's dominating KwarK. But the issue is, what's he got going on back at home? He's going for mines. He's got a single tank. This is 2 Gateway Dragoon. If he pushes right now, there's going to be no mines. Mines are not finished. And there's going to be 1 single tank to defend the ramp. Could this counter be enough to win the game for KwarK? He has to make something happen here. He has to find some form of damage. But it looks like the Vultures... Wait, did the Vultures die? I think he killed... Oh no, the Vultures are behind the goons. That means he's got nothing defending. This is 6 Dragoons going to be heading up to his ramp. 1 tank isn't going to be enough here. And with mines, there's not going to be any mines to defend either. 2 tanks finally. There's a lot of SCVs here. All he really needs to do is kill the SCVs and he can fall back and feel happy. But this is only 2 Vultures in the middle of the map. If he can block his ramp, which he should be able to, KwarK is in a very, very good place. Okay, KwarK is going to go. The SCVs have been pulled back. It made it look like that was going to be it. The Marines at the top of the ramp, though, doing a ton of damage. I don't think this is going to be enough, but it's still 3 Dragoons. The target firing from SPX, not great. And it looks like he's going to be able to clean this up, but he's going to lose both his tanks. Okay, it's a single Dragoon left here against a single Vulture. The Vulture's at the back, laying mines in between this, so this attack will not continue. And the Vulture using all of his mines at the top of the ramp. He's trying to pull it into the Goon. Oh, he nearly gets it into the mine, but doesn't quite. And KwarK still has a Dragoon in the base. This is his way back into the game. He's killed the tanks. He's basically set SPX back a very, very long way. But he needs to do more damage than this. He's trying to, I think he's trying to bait a mine drag into the minerals, but I don't think it's really going to do too much. But KwarK is rebuilding his probe count. Thank you, Machine, for the raid, man. Welcome, guys. You're watching iRk versus Ash. It's been a pretty cool series so far. KwarK and SPX has been very back and forth so far. SPX bunker rushed a 12 next Marine SCV'd. It didn't manage to kill it. Then KwarK pushed back with a 7 Dragoon counterattack, broke the ramp, and did a bunch of damage as well. So this is a really, really crazy game. Wait, Zealot speed? He's upgrading Zealot speed, what the heck? I didn't even notice that. I guess KwarK is going to go for some weird Zealot all-in or something. KwarK is definitely showing why he's Quarky, although I guess that doesn't really work. But he's going to eat some mines with some Zealots and then push with everything he has. Geefka saying this is what Bisu did against Flash. Oh! Oh, he's trying to... Okay, he needs to bring more Dragoons if he can do that, I think. He's not Bisu. Now he's trying to counteract an expansion from SPX, which is coming. SPX is still only on 3 tanks. They're actually back in his main base. So they're not going to be able to defend the natural. But he needs to deal with the mines. Now, here we go. Zealot speed going to be shown to the Vultures, which is not good for KwarK. We should see, yeah, the tanks are going to move immediately down here. They're going to go towards the ramp. There's not many mines defending the natural here. This could still do a bunch of damage. And with more units coming in to defend against it, or more units coming in to attack, KwarK could still win this. He's going to force a lift. That's a mini win here for KwarK. But I almost feel like KwarK has to win the game here, right? There's only 1 mine defending the tanks on the high ground. If he can mine drag into these tanks, that's game over. 100% it's game over. But you'll see that KwarK getting a little bit too close to the high ground there. Going to make it a little bit harder for KwarK to do what he wants to do. But he does know the position of the tanks now. He sees the base is not mining. And SPX is going to start to try and expand again. We've got KwarK going for an expansion. Starting to build a pylon wall as well to make sure he doesn't get killed by Vultures. He is the one with Zealots. KwarK, meanwhile, has gone into a Templar Archives. We could see some DTs. There we go. Some Cape Boys coming out right here. Going to be heading across the map. He knows there's no more mines out on the map. And if he... Can he kill this? Is he going to suicide into the turret? Oh, the Vulture's coming out. Surely he's just going to mine in front of where his tanks are. And these DTs are going to do nothing. Oh, the DTs are actually going to show themselves to the Vultures as well. You'll notice that SPX comes back immediately. He knows that he has to lay some mines down. The turret goes down though, so this means the DTs are going to be able to force the expansion to the... Oh my god, the mine drag, the mine drag. Can he do it? No, he doesn't. He doesn't mine drag into the SCVs, but it doesn't matter. He gets a DT into the SCV line anyway. He gets one of the tanks on the low ground. The Dragoon's going to help try and clean up the... Okay, he really doesn't want to be doing that. All he wants to do is sit here. Like, he doesn't want to throw his units away. Vultures are out in the middle of the map. I don't think anything is going to be going on back here as well. And this game has gone from... I mean, it's been back and forth the whole time. But all of a sudden, KwarK is actually back in it. Why did he do that? That was a weird decision, but SPX is going to be able to expand again, but KwarK has got himself back into the game despite going down to 9 probes at the beginning of the game and losing his 12 Nexus. He's managed to find a build and a way back, and that is incredibly impressive. Vulture's moving around checking for a third base that could be there, but it isn't. He's going to have to check those other bases as well, just to make sure he's not up against a hidden base. Now KwarK going into a robo, going to go into those all-important orbs. You definitely need those to deal with any vultures that are going to be coming out. And an additional Stargate and an additional gateway. So it is going to most likely be two base Arbiter. Very, very strong choice in these positions. This is a very good Arbiter map, but I feel it's a better carrier map. Just given the architecture of the map. We saw with the KwarK game why Arbiters can be so dodgy here. If you can get a recall off in the Terran's main, obviously it's very, very powerful. But carriers are just stronger. Now we've got SPX moving forward. He's bringing a lot of tanks, a lot of vultures, and KwarK doesn't have that many units still, so this is going to be a tough defense. He's trying to tech up at the same time. He does have Storm though, and Storm could be worth its weight in gold here. He's going to storm the vultures. I don't really agree with that too much. It's just putting his Templar in a... Oh no, he's going to lose the Templar. He can't lose these, and he loses one without storming. Why did he run out with the Templars? He needs those against the tanks. The tanks are the big thing you want to storm. Vultures can run out of it. And this, I think, could be the nail in the coffin here for poor old SPX. For poor old KwarK, even. Looks like we do have a shuttle to pick up the High Templar, but he's one storm down. And he's got tanks and vultures outside of his main base. This is not where you want to be as Protoss whatsoever. Here come the Zealots. He's going to try and run and get on top of everything. He tries to mine drag, but he's losing all of his units to the mines he's trying to drag. And I don't think this is going to work out. He's lost most of his units. Teching up is not going to be helping here. He drops the Zealots. Here we go. Could be some big storms, but nice target firing by SPX on that High Templar. Stops the storms coming down. And that is going to be the nail in the coffin, 100%. We've got a DT here that can't actually get past the pylon wall. And he's going to... yeah, there we go. He's just going to scan it, and that's going to be it. GG. KwarK taps out. And SPX... SPX wins game number 3. KwarK saying GG Ree. I fucked this up. There we go. Unfortunately, KwarK, you only get one chance. But if you want, I hope they did play again. I kind of hope they did, because I really want to see how that was going to go. But I mean, the way that ended going, or the way that ended up for KwarK did not go very well. Like, he went for 12 next. It got scouted first. So SPX just Marine SCB rushed it, and he lost it. Then he lost a ton of probes to vultures. Like, that was quite possibly the one thing that KwarK didn't want to happen there. That was the one thing he didn't want to happen, but there we go. So, we'll be back just after this short break, and when we get back, we'll be heading into our... well, it could be our final game. It may not be, but it's the final planned game of today's STPL. It is a PvP between OyAji and Dreamer, so don't go anywhere. See you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 4 between iRk and Ash. This could be the final game in the series. Starting here, trying to take match point for iRk is going to be Oya. Oya, one of their strongest Protoss players. A really strong Protoss player for a long time, but recently, especially within the last year, he has just been getting better and better and better, doing really well as far as I'm aware in the last season of BSL, and he has been on a tear in STPL, only losing 2 of his last 10 games, even winning against the mighty Polish powerhouse himself, KwarK, and Pitbull as well for Valhalla team last season. Really strong opponents, and there he did, he beat them. And his opponent fighting for Ash is going to be Dreamer. Dreamer hasn't had the same level of success in the STPL that Oya has, but he's still done incredibly well. His PvP over 16 games has been a 50% win rate, which is incredibly impressive given the amount and the number of opponents he's actually played against. This is going to be a relatively standard map as well, so I don't think there's going to be too much to say about the map, although in PvP there is a high ground natural, which means if one player rushes quite heavily, it could be a relatively quick game, but I think if this game goes past the 6-minute mark or so, it's going to be quite hard to kill your opponent, so it should be a relatively long game. Paradise, another map made by Gasomi. If you don't know who made the maps today, Rosen Bridge was made by Gasomi, Paradise is made by Gasomi, and Desert Dwellers and Charmander, the ace map, made by Minerals. So really good to see them over here. So let's get into game number 4. It's match point for iRk. Can they close out the series, or is Dreamer going to keep the dream alive for Ash? Let's find out. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player fighting for iRk. It's OyAji. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner for Ash is Dreamer in the blue. Yeah, Bonneth got his golden mouse in the BSL, although I guess they don't do a golden mouse in the BSL. I wonder what they would do. Because OSL was golden mouse, ASL was the golden ruler because of like the whole thing of flash measuring is set up. MSL was just a golden badge, I think. But what does I mean, I need to give Seoul a golden something because they won 3 seasons. Yeah, the final I think was Bonneth versus Dewalt. I didn't catch all the games, but from what I understand they were really good. The gateway coming up first here for Oya. Dreamer really isn't going to be going for... Is he going to go 2-gate? There's no way he's going for 12 next, right? If he goes 12 next on a 2-player map, I would be floored. No way is he 12 nexing against Oya. He's gonna 12 next. Oh my goodness. And there it is, Nexus coming up. Oya gonna scout this immediately. And honestly, I think Dreamer should just cancel this and build 2 gateways like right now. Because I don't see how this is ever gonna work. Russia and Poland are not in the same time zone. Russia is very big. Russia is over like, I don't know how many time zones, but it's probably like 5 or 6. Because part of Russia is in the same time zone as Japan and Korea. Okay, the first Zealot is going to be coming out here. Dreamer knows this is coming, so he should be able to do something to defend against this, but I think he's going to have to pull probes. Oh, the probe blocking the... This is really important. That block there has just bought Dreamer a little bit of time. And time is exactly what he needs right now because he's only got a single gateway. It's going to be one Zealot against one Zealot with a probe as well. There's a proxy pylon coming up here, most likely 4 shield batteries as well. Wow, according to Agony in chat, Russia has 11 time zones. That's insane. Is that that must be the biggest amount of time zones across a single nation, right? I guess Canada might have... No, I don't even think Canada. Like, Canada's huge, but I don't think it spans that far, east and west. Okay, here we go. We've got 2 Zealots against 1. We have no shield battery on the high ground, but here we do have the second Zealot coming in. Shield battery. Oh, it's a Robo, actually. A proxy Robo going to be going for some Reavers, waddling them up to this base. Now, interestingly, when people go for 12 next, they usually go into a forge behind this and go for cannons, which is what the Reaver counters. But here we go. It's 3 Zealots against 3 Zealots. If Dreamer can win this fight, he is going to be so obscenely far ahead. But if Oya can win there we go. Shield battery coming in. He's pushing forward. Shield battery coming up on this side as well. But Dreamer's on a ticking time bomb. He doesn't know about the proxy robo yet. He does know there's only one gateway, so he should know that something's up. Zealot's getting a favorable engagement so far for Oya. But it looks like things are starting to get a little bit out of hand. We do have the shield battery coming in. He uses that straight away on both of those. Both players getting full shields. Okay, here we go. This is incredibly important. He sees the second shield battery, sees the robo as well. He's going into mass gateway, up to 4 gates on his 2 base. All he has to do is survive long enough. But the Reaver is going to be coming, and the Reaver is the strong play in this situation. Looks like, is he close enough to his shield battery to fight? I don't know. Looks like he is going to not replenish his shields. Now he is. But it's 3 Dragoons against 2 at the moment, and only 1 Zealot. So I think this could be it. Oya has tipped the scales in his balance far enough. And I think this could very well be the end of the game. The probes are being pulled. The Reaver is almost done as well. He has to kill all of these units and the Reaver if he has any hope of surviving. Oya nearly tying up the worker count. He is still a Nexus behind. But this is very, very, very close here for Dreamer. He has to make this work. He has to kill the Dragoons. But the double shield battery just can't do any damage, and the Reaver comes out. And with that Reaver, even if it doesn't move from this position... Oh, he's actually got it blocked in. He's going to kill his shield battery. But there's just not enough units. Unfortunately for Dreamer, he went for a very risky build on a 2-player map. And it just didn't work out. He came close to holding, but Oya with 2 shield batteries with the Reaver has just done enough to twist the knife. No amount of shield battery energy is going to keep him alive here. GG, Dreamer taps out, and Oya takes the 4th and final game of the series, 3-1 for iRk, and gives iRk their first match win of the STPL Season 4. So that is another example of iRk showing how strong they are. We had some very close games in this series. trutacz getting taken down by Squall was a massive, massive upset, I would say. And a really, really well played game by Squall to make that happen. I don't think a lot of people would say that Squall could probably beat trutacz, but he did. That's all I can say. He did. He beat trutacz. And that's something to be very, very proud about. But we've just added that to the database. Looks like that didn't actually add the win, but it's all good. It's added the win in the database, so it's all good. Let's have a look at the results screen, and we'll tie up the stream for today. It's been a good stream, I think. We've had a lot of good games, a lot of fun times. There's another stream coming up on Friday as well. Same time, same place, of course, at 9 PM CET. We're going to have 2 matches then as well. But here is the roundup for today. iRk taking down Ash 3-1, Dewalt taking down Radley, Miracle Toss performing another miracle, taking down the Ghost King, Squall taking down trutacz, SPX taking down KwarK, and OyAji taking down Dreamer. Dreamer and KwarK came very, very close. So it was very, very nearly Ash's series. Squall with a great win to tie up the series as well. So Ash have definitely got to be feeling good about this series. Even though they lost in week 2, they're sending out Rhett, which is really, really good. Because Rhett is a great player. And it's really good to see him back playing Brood War again. He quit to play StarCraft 2 when it came out. Came back for a little bit to play Brood War again. But quit again because there wasn't really any tournaments going on or anything. And he's come back again. So Rhett back playing Brood War again. He qualified for the Russian Cyber Games, which is happening this weekend. He got the wildcard qualifier spot. I believe he had to pay $100 to get in the tournament, and he won. So there we go. He did also hate the latency, but there wasn't, like much with mana, there wasn't really any tournaments going on, so there wasn't really anything for him to do. Like, he couldn't really make money being a Brood War streamer at the time, but things are getting a lot better for Brood War again in the foreign scene. Artosis and Tasteless bringing up the viewer numbers. And just really, really good to have Brood War back. Well, I say back, it's not really gone anywhere. But we are going to go into the end of the stream. I'm going to find someone to raid. I know OyAji said please raid Ruskig, so I'll have a look. See if there's anyone else as well. And then we'll decide. And we will see you guys, well, I will see you guys on Friday, same time, same place, twitch.tv/STPL. If you want to support the STPL, you can do so through Patreon or Matcherino. There is a Matcherino code given to us, which is STPL-S4. If you add that to the Matcherino, you can add 50 cents to the prize pool completely free. We are going for a $2,000 prize pool goal again. Esports Fund donated $1,000 to start us off because we got to our stretch goal last season, and let's see if we can make it again. Huge shout outs to Caspas, Grey Shades, Masoka, and Dewalt for contributing as well. But I'll see you guys on Friday. If you're watching this, you're watching the STPL. Hopefully you've been enjoying what you've seen so far. If you want to help me make more STPL content to bring more tournaments to you, please support us on Patreon, which you can find up here. And also, there's so many different things you can get through Patreon. One of the main and one of the easiest ones to get is, of course, access to all of the replays of the STPL so far. We've had some amazing games, such as some of the games you can see just over here.